Maybe this is a generalization, but I think when people struggle to be in environments where not everyone is a Christian, it's because they're very judgmental. Mm-hmm. What's the big deal?
Totally.
If you're uncomfortable around people who don't believe the same thing as you, I think it's because you're being judgmental of the choices that they're making.
I get Adam Sandler. I think I actually have gotten Ryan Gosling like one time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's extremely generous.
What did you get recently that you had never heard before?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey. I'd never gotten that before. Again, I will take that to the bank.
Hello. Check 1, 2, 3. Is that good?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
You don't have any water. Do you need some?
No, I'm a no water guy.
What?
Yeah. Just, I don't think it's necessary. So I'm going to do a water fast this year. Want to do it with me?
H-E double toothpicks, no.
H-E double toothpicks, no. Speaking of...
Passionate way to say no.
Actually, that's not a segue at all. But your hair.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah. 80s crimped.
Yeah, I was playing with
frizz for
this,
the gods over here.
I was playing with this new hair tool I got that has like 3 prongs.
Uh-huh. That crimp
your hair.
Oh, scrimp it. Scrimp? Is it crimp or scrimp? Isn't it crimp?
It's crimp. I just say scrimp.
Why?
Scrimp. I don't know. I just like it.
That's interesting. I thought that's what you called shrimp.
It is.
Okay. So
I just like the word scrimp.
it's universal, I guess. You can use it for many things.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
It's actually pretty fun. I'm like, I would wear my hair like this.
Yeah. I think you're rocking it.
I was just playing
with
it.
What is that, 80s?
To test it out. Yeah, crimping is 80s.
Yeah.
This is it's wider, so it's less crimpy. It's still crimpy, but less crimpy.
Crimptastic.
Yeah. Scrimptastic.
Okay. I can't do anything like that for my...
Yeah.
I mean, I tried, but the scrimping only goes too far.
I mean, you get a pretty fierce wave in
That's
certain
true.
weather.
Yeah, you could definitely surfs up on my hair.
This is for sure.
At moments, it's it goes kind of like one of these actions and then up and then over. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's weird how it does it. I don't really understand it.
It's cute when it does it. I said it. I said it.
So you are 16 weeks.
Yep.
To this day.
Literally today, I'm 16 weeks.
Yeah. Just had our checkup. Went really well.
Did go well.
Got to hear the heartbeat.
Yeah, I heard his heartbeat.
Which is...
loud and clear.
Yeah, that is so cool.
It is cool.
It was like so loud and so apparent.
Yeah.
Actually.
And she found it fast, which I was happy about because even though I'm now 16 weeks, I still get a little bit of apprehension before going to the doctor. Like I still get nervous a little bit.
You mean just like making sure that everything's good and good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I can't feel him yet, so it's like I don't know what's going on in there, you know?
I wonder when you can feel him.
She said
like 20 weeks?
Yeah, she said between like 20 and 22. I know some people feel them sooner than that, especially if they've, I think, had one before.
Yeah.
So pretty soon here.
That'll be crazy.
And then she was saying after 28 weeks is when you kind of start to feel it like daily.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But it was very, like the heartbeat was like very apparent this time.
Yeah.
We heard it very vaguely in like, what is it, week 10?
It was like 11 and a half-ish.
Yeah. You could still hear it. It was just a lot more faint, but this is it now. I wonder if you can hear it.
Sounds perfect.
Can you hear that? I think you can hear it. So cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What trimester has been easier? Or have they been hard for different reasons?
I think there's just new and different things literally every day. Mm-hmm. I feel better this trimester so far.
Like not as nauseous?
Like less nausea, especially like this past, I've had a few little bouts of nausea, but mostly haven't been nauseous at all, which is amazing.
I have noticed that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Some random times when you'll
very random.
Go under though.
Still always late at night.
Yep.
Like midnight late. Like very late.
He's a night owl, just like his papa.
Yeah. Now it's like more about the dealing with my body changing.
Yeah.
Because that was less. Obviously, at the beginning, that's less. And then you start to be like, oh,
now things are changing.
Going on there.
I know I saw on your Google search, do your hips get bigger during pregnancy?
I was Googling that.
Yes, you were.
Because I noticed that my hips...
I'm like, you're not going to find... I don't think you're going to find answers that you want to see.
Well, I just wanted to know if that like anatomically, literally your hips become wider.
Oh, like to make room?
Yeah. Because things are moving... or everything's moving around. Your body's making room for the growth that's going on.
Yeah.
And it said yes. That's the answer.
Did that make you feel better?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, good.
Because that's what I was curious about, because my hips are wider, but there's nothing, they still feel like my hips. Like it's just like my hip bones and like my muscle. But my hips are wider. But it's not fat, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But I feel when I'm pulling on pants, I feel it.
You feel a difference.
Yeah, I feel that they're wider. And so I was just curious if like anatomically that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And it is. I was just wondering.
Okay. That's when I have to remind you that you're pregnant, that you're growing a human, and that this will happen. I know. I mean, I don't know because I will never know, but I'm sure that can be a difficult just to go through that transition, because it probably, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it probably gets easier at like the third trimester part where you're you're very obviously pregnant,
right,
and you're not kind of in this stage of like, I feel like I just look fat.
Yes.
As opposed to pregnant.
100%.
But then when you have just like a round belly,
yeah, it's like
maybe
very
it
obvious.
Feels better.
For sure. That's what
like
I'm
body image wise.
That's what I'm imagining, because then it's like you actually look pregnant. Right. Versus just my stomach looking big.
Sure.
Today when I was at the workout class I took this morning, I was modifying, because they were doing like laying on your back sit up. So we were doing circuits. So I was modifying, and the instructor came over and I was like, I'm pregnant, which is why I'm doing this. And she was like, I figured that you were. I wasn't going to ask you, but I figured that you were. She was like, but you should tell me at the beginning so I can like make sure. She was like, I'm actually a pre and postnatal specialist when it comes to working out. So I got her card.
That's great.
Just because I really liked her class and I really liked her. And so now I'm like, because I have been taking classes from people and I don't tell them that I'm pregnant.
Yeah, but why not? Why
I don't know.
You?
I don't know. And that's what when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm like learning how to be pregnant, because I've never done it before.
Sure. Like learning to say, like to tell people.
Yeah. Cause it's like, I'm not used to having to go into a workout class and be like, hey, heads up. Like I have this thing, which is why I might be doing something different than everyone else at times.
Why you might not be doing like burpees where you're slamming your stomach on the ground.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense that the instructor would want to know that someone in their class is pregnant, whether they know a lot about that or a little, because all trainers who are trained learn about that.
Right. Sure.
Regardless whether it's their like expert area or not.
Which makes sense.
Right. And I was like,
at least to know like why you're modifying.
Yeah. But then when she was like, I figured that you were, I wasn't gonna ask you, but then I was like, oh, okay, I guess maybe I do look pregnant when I'm wearing like tight workout clothes, which I think I definitely do, because I look very different than normal. Yeah. But for other people who haven't seen me every day, I don't know. But I guess I do look pregnant, which I was glad.
Just had Chipotle right before here.
Exactly. It's a huge burrito. Baby's not even as big as a burrito yet.
No, it's the size of an
avocado.
Avocado. Oh, yeah. Which week 15 was a pear. Yeah. And let me tell you, I have had pears that were bigger than avocados.
For sure, same.
So that's confusing because the avocados that we get from Trader Joe's are pretty small. I mean, but I guess we get the mini ones,
they're literally called teeny tiny avocados.
Oh, we get the teeny tiny ones. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if we get regular ones, it's obviously a lot bigger.
Yeah. We have some regular ones out there now. We can compare.
Yeah.
An avocado to my belly.
An avocado to your belly. I would say you probably have an avocado in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
An avocado in you. I did eat some avocado today. I've been doing so much learning in this season. Is there anything that you've been learning?
I have been learning to enjoy every part of this process. I know it's going to be a different journey for you, but I'm so excited to like meet him and see him, and I catch myself kind of imagining that, but I also want to stay present and enjoy just this whole journey, the ups and downs of it.
Yeah.
Because it's such a unique thing, and it may be our only one, and we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I have been working on trusting God and kind of surrendering over, that he'll take care of us. I think financially, I don't know if this is a common guy thing, but my mind goes like, okay, are we financially ready as well?
Yeah.
To take on this human and support him financially. Mm-hmm. I think that's constantly going through my head, making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Sure. To
provide in that way.
Yeah.
As well as provide as a husband and then as a father.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be like stressful to think about, but again, that's just thinking of, I'm too far in the future.
Yeah.
And thinking too much and living too much in the future.
Yeah.
And in what if territory.
For sure.
As opposed to what is happening now.
Yeah.
And being grateful for what we do have. And
yeah.
Just putting more faith and trust in that, like, he'll provide all our needs according to his riches and glory.
Yeah. Well, I have felt very supported by you in every step of the journey. So thank you.
Of course. I love all the body changes that is happening, because I just think it's just a sign that everything is progressing, and I just think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I
mean, bigger boobs, bigger hips and butt. What's not to love?
A rumph. Rumph.
Apparently they even get bigger after.
What do you mean?
Right? Like when you're like breastfeeding, or no?
Oh, I think they progress to that.
They progress to that stage.
Yeah.
So they even have longer to go.
It said they could increase 3 cup sizes.
Holy
that's really
cow.
Significant. That's really significant for me.
That is significant.
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
Not right now.
No. Does it hurt to like run?
No, I don't run.
Oh.
In the first place.
Yeah, I guess you don't.
I never run.
I guess. Yeah. Walk down steps, jumping jacks.
No. I'm doing those things. I'm wearing a sports bra.
Okay.
But they're still not that.
They're still not big old biddies.
Yeah, they're still not that big. I'd say they're average currently, even though they're much bigger than what they usually are. How about this for a question? This is a question someone wrote to us.
Going to the question.
Yeah, I'm changing the subject. How do you pray for your spouse? Do you have any advice on what topics to cover in prayers for them?
What do you think? Oh, that's a question for me.
For both of us.
You pray for what you see in them, the potential that you see in them, and pray for who they're going to be. Not like maybe they're in a season right now that's difficult they're going through a difficult season, which might mean they're not their best self.
Sure.
But pray for what you see in them and who they're going to be if they just continue to press in and get through this. And pray for protection. Pray for just like healing and protection constantly, mind, body, spirit. I don't think that is ever a bad prayer to do. We try to pray that every day, like prayer over just protection and healing over the body, because not just physical things that are out there that can harm. I believe that there are spiritual things as well that you just want protection over and guarded.
For sure.
And mind.
Yeah.
Protection over the mind, because it's all one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I was just looking up those books, The Power of a Praying Husband and The Power of a Praying Wife, which I haven't read. I should, but those books I've heard that those books are good.
Yeah.
If someone wants a resource, it's very specific to that. But I would agree. For me, I'm sort of like, I like to cast a broad net with my prayers. So thanking God for you is always something that I do. Thanking him for just bringing you to me, bringing us together, working in our relationship. That he would make himself known to you, that you would feel his closeness to you. And then also, yes, protection over your heart and mind and body. If there's something specific going on that I know that you're struggling with or maybe anxious about, then I'll put that in there. But generally, those are the things I pray for.
Yeah.
Along with always trying to keep at the forefront just how grateful I am for you and thanking God for you.
Especially, you need that reminder, especially when I like leave my beard clippings or poop streaks or protein powder on the counter, or my hawking, my sniffling.
Yep.
All those fun things.
All those fun things.
Sarah said this before to me, where she's like, I will have to play I'll have to play mind games with myself, where if something is really irritating me about, like if I'm doing something that's really irritating to her, she goes in her brain where, well, if he's dead, I would miss these things, which is kind of a morbid thing, but it's true.
Yeah.
You would miss that. You would miss those things that you used to get really annoyed by, because you would just want that person to be alive. Yeah. And you're crying.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm pregnant. There's no way I'm going to make it through this without crying.
And sometimes I use that to my advantage.
He does. Then he's like, you'd miss it if I was dead. I'm like, okay. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's just like total, what is that called? I was going to say blackmail, but that's not true.
Like just manipulation.
Oh, manipulation. That's what it is. Gaslighting. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but it's a good little trick to do. Like, especially if it's something that's small.
Yeah,
that's like
really doesn't matter.
It's something that irritates you, but is it really
right?
Something to create like a fight over?
Right.
Or like, is this really the thing that's irritating you, or is it maybe something that is something deeper than that?
Or it's just something so small that it's just like a pet peeve thing.
Totally.
Like I don't like mouth noises in general.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And God has a sense of humor where he put me with someone who makes the most amount of noises I've ever experienced. So it's just like that is
And God
funny.
gave me a deviated septum and allergies to boot, which makes me have to breathe out my mouth for most of my life. And so now I've learned a lot about how bad that is for you to be a mouth breather, and that
don't breathe through your mouth.
No, there's
People
a whole book
out there,
on that.
don't
I think
do
it's
it.
called Breath. That literally talks all about the benefits of breathing through your nose as opposed to your mouth, and the harm of breathing through your mouth, and how it literally restructures your face and makes you uglier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you are a mouth breather as opposed to when you breathe through your nose. So I'm like overly cautious of that now, but man, it's difficult when you're stuffed up. I did like years of allergy shots when I was a kid.
To like
So
figure out what
frustrating.
you're allergic to?
No, to like try to
Like help your allergies.
Yeah. I'm allergic to dust mites, trees, cats.
Trees in general.
Trees and dust mites are everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then cats, and I don't know what else. Should probably do that again.
Well, a symptom of pregnancy is congestion, so I've definitely been experiencing that.
Yeah, you've been a little more sniffly and snartly.
Yeah, it's been driving me insane. Absolutely insane.
Now you know how I feel pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I feel like I always need to blow my nose, or that I need to blow my nose, but nothing comes out because the passages are just swollen.
Thank you. Yep.
Alas.
I know.
Anyway.
Hopefully maybe they can correct my deviated septum and also give me just like a little bit of a nose job and make it a little bit smaller.
No.
You think they would do that? Do you think insurance would cover that?
Probably deviated septum thing.
Yeah, and then like be like, hey doc, maybe shave a little bit.
Accidentally shave a little.
Maybe
off.
shave a little on the top as well.
I don't think I wouldn't like that.
I think you would. I think you're just saying that.
I'm not just saying that.
You're not?
No. It would.
You would not. If I got a nose job, you wouldn't like it.
It would just be weird because your face would look different.
Yeah, but then you would get used to it. You mean different as in like more attractive?
No.
Oh.
I don't. I think there's nothing wrong with a prominent nose on a man at all.
Yeah.
On a woman, on the other hand, it's a different story.
It's crazy though when you see before and afters of people that had nose jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all are, all is that you need one or it's all good. And I know that there are people that have had botched nose jobs and botched surgeries like that. I mean, there's always that risk, but
of course,
but it's considerable. It's kind of crazy.
The
difference that it makes.
I mean, I don't think I'd ever get a nose job, but I have a very prominent nose.
That's why everybody compares you to people that have
that have prominent noses.
Like, you look like this person.
Yeah, I'm like, they have a prominent nose. That's the only reason why.
Prominent nose and big eyes.
Sarah Bareilles is a big one.
Yeah,
that I get.
Yeah, but she's super attractive.
She is. She's very beautiful.
And the Brooklyn Nine-Nine girl.
Yes, Chelsea Peretti.
Also attractive.
She is pretty. I'm like, there's someone. There's another one.
It's a bunch of pretty women.
Right, with prominent noses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I've just embraced my prominent nose. And I think I'd be weirded out by my own face. I mean, I know I'd get used to it, but
I get Adam Sandler. I've gotten somebody else. I've gotten Adam Sandler. I've gotten the guy from Orange, like the creep guy from Orange is the New Black with the mustache. I don't know the actor's name. I think he plays Master Chief in Halo now. I get him a lot. I've gotten him a lot recently. I've gotten Prince William.
Sure.
I'm still waiting on the Ryan Gosling, Chris Hemsworth. I think I actually have gotten Ryan Gosling like one time. Yeah. And I'm like, that's extremely generous.
What did you get?
I don't really believe
What did you get recently that you had never heard before?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Yeah, I never gotten that before. Again, I will take that to the bank. I will take that. I'll take Ryan Gosling. I've only gotten both of those one time, and
that's enough.
That's enough for me.
That's one time.
Yep. Once is enough.
Yeah.
Maybe the person was legally blind, but I was not going to ask.
Legally Blonde. Just reminded me of that.
Yep. Your favorite musical.
It's so good. If you haven't seen Legally Blonde, you should watch it.
They actually do. Yeah, well, they obviously have the movie, but they have the whole musical on YouTube. Yeah. And it is very fun.
Yeah.
It's a very fun musical.
It's so good. It's so good.
If you could be put in a show right now, maybe after you have the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could pick anything and any role. What would you do?
And I'd be like trained up for it properly, because I feel like every role I'd want to play, I'd need to be like,
you need to
let me
like get in shape for it.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Oh, like trained and like voice lessons and stuff.
Yeah. All of the above.
Okay. Well, first thing that came to mind. What was it?
Well, either Legally Blonde. Elle Woods. Yeah. Okay. For sure. Or 42nd Street.
Who?
I don't know if I'd want to play Peggy Sawyer, which is the lead.
Okay.
I played Anytime Annie in the past, and I really liked that role. I would like to play that role again.
Yeah.
Or, and this is one that I'm pretty sure I probably aged out of all of this at this point, but
no.
But
nothing a little
maybe not Anytime Annie, I don't think. But Penny in Hairspray.
Oh, yeah, you would kill that part. You'd be so good in that part.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
You definitely haven't aged out of that. You look 20s. I know.
From far away with a lot of makeup.
Mine is Tony in West Side, and
Yeah.
he's like, I think a 16-year-old or 18-year-old. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah.
Like something like that. We got to get on that.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to hire me to play Tony, the time's a ticking. Time
out of
is
time.
a ticking. Man, that's a dream role though.
Yeah.
I would love to play that.
Yeah.
I could have, but
Yeah.
turned it down for beauty.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did because I met you.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I got cast as Tony in a regional theater, and it conflicted with the rehearsals of Beauty and the Beast, and I booked that as well. And so I kind of had to choose, and I chose the Beauty and the Beast tour, which is where I met my wife, Sarah, who's
Hey.
sitting across from me.
Me. I'm glad you chose that.
Me too.
Thank goodness.
Me too.
Thank goodness.
It's crazy to think if I didn't, or if you didn't, how just different our lives would be.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, would I be doing social media? I don't know. Would you? Definitely not.
No way. No chance.
It's so crazy.
What are some Bible stories that resonate with you the most, and why?
I think of David just because
Right.
it was the most recent thing that we watched, but it was
Because
just,
you've been reading the New Testament.
yeah, I've
You're
been
like-
reading New Testament,
I mean, you.
but I don't know, that story is pretty crazy about the redemption of David, how he was just like such a godly man that fell like any human does,
Yep.
to adultery and then also murdering the
Right.
husband,
Yeah.
which, that's another step.
Yeah.
But then how he goes through, getting forgiven, and like the redemption story of after that
Yeah.
is,
And
I don't know. It's just really powerful to think about how somebody that was held at such a high standard
Yep.
and caliber fell just like anybody else.
Yeah.
But then also got redeemed and forgiven. And
yeah. So we watched Sight and Sound's production of David.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Sight and Sound is, it's a theater in Pennsylvania and in Branson, and they do musicals, but they're all Bible stories.
Yeah.
And that sounds like really corny and like it would be terrible, but it was unbelievable.
It really is. The scale of it. It's basically like, it's probably 4 to 5 Broadway stages combined.
Yeah.
Like the stage is that big.
Yeah.
It goes kind of a U shape.
Yeah.
There's a whole
Side.
stage on the right side.
Yeah.
There's an entirely huge stage in the front, and there's a huge stage on the left.
Yeah.
And there's live animals.
People
like
riding
camels,
horses.
Goats, horses.
So many sheep.
So crazy.
It was nuts.
It was. I did not realize the scale of it until we watched that.
Me neither. And the performers were
Excellent.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Broadway tier.
Oh, I was taken aback
Yeah.
by the singing voices. But I happened to be reading. I've been reading First and Second Samuel anyway before we were watching that. So I was like, I've had a lot of David lately.
Uh huh.
And I do think there's something about seeing it brought to life like that before your eyes that just like, that's why I love The Chosen so much, is because when things come to life, it just makes them so much more real than when you read them on a page, even though I know it's true. Just seeing it in front of me was like, the power of that story struck me in a way that I had never really experienced before.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to cry.
Uh-oh.
So just ignore it. It's
Okay.
just what happens to me now.
Right, yeah. So if you're watching this, just turn away.
It just,
Look up. Don't look at your screen.
when I was watching, we were watching David, I like became very emotional because it's just such an overwhelming story of the character of God. I think that story is such an incredible representation of God's character because of the trajectory of David, like you were saying, but then how when Nathan, the prophet, comes to David and calls him out, David is immediately like, you're right. That was me. I did all those things. And I feel disgusting about it all. And I want to be, made clean. And God does. God forgives him, but he doesn't take away the consequences of David's actions. And Nathan says to David, like, you'll be washed you're washed white as snow, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to walk out the consequences of the choices that you made.
Right.
And I just think that's so powerful. Mm-hmm. And it just goes to show that when we come to God with humble hearts, he can do anything with a humble heart that's open to him, because we're all, as humans, it's so easy to stray from him, to feel, to step out of his path for you, to step away from his presence. Not that his presence ever leaves you, because it doesn't, but our actions make us feel that we've moved further and further and further from him. Man, I wish I had taken notes when we were watching the musical, because there were some good lines. There were some lines that I was just like, oh, that's so good, about just stepping out of, when the further and further away we get from the will of God, the more difficult our lives become. And man, it's just such a powerful story.
Well, the more difficult it is to like hear and feel his presence.
Right.
I think that's what, I don't know what line you're talking about, because that hit me too.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you start to not pursue
a
relationship, or not take time to feel like to be in his presence and pursue him.
Yeah.
The harder it is to hear him and feel him.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yes.
Just like any relationship that you would have.
For sure. This is just reminding me of something I underlined in my Bible today, and I want to quote it properly. I'm going to go get it. Hold, please.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to sing you a song. Could be, who knows? There's something good any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. And she's back.
I am.
Well,
I still have to find the line.
We were talking about, they make them cannonballing out in the sky, gleaming inside, bright as a rose. Who knows?
Nice.
There's something due any day. Just tell me when you find it. All it all. How about it? Miracle do gonna come true? Come to me. Okay, there's my audition. So
you're 16 bars.
If you're a producer or director, just hit me up. Okay, here's another 16 bars. On the outside, always looking in. When I ever be more than I've always been, 'cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. That was probably 8 bars, but
8 bars. This was more about, I guess what I underlined was a little bit, not exactly what we were talking about. I thought it was more related to what we were talking about.
Yikes.
So
how embarrassing for you.
It reminded me of the line in David, because this is about serving people versus becoming consumed with our own work and our own pursuits. And I think that was in the story of David. He becomes, so consumed by his victories, and it's just victory after victory after victory, which is happening because of God. But then it's like, well, now I'm on this trajectory, so these are the results I have to create. And then you become so focused on the results that you forget about the source of the results in the first place.
Well, it's also focusing on your image.
Yeah.
Because we are inherently selfish.
Absolutely.
And probably 99% of the things that we do, even things that we say are not for us and for other people, are probably for selfish reasons, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely true. Even people that are like, that never see their kids because they're working all the time to quote unquote provide for their kids, and so they don't have a relationship with their kids. I heard somebody, I can't remember who it was exactly, but basically admit because that was what they said, it was a father. It was like, well, I do this for you. I do this for you. I do this for the kids, and didn't have a relationship with anybody because he was never home. He was working to provide financially.
Yeah.
And then basically at the end of his life admitted, he's like, I say it was for them, but it was really for me. I just liked work. I liked the feeling that it gave me.
Yeah.
I liked the image of being a hard worker.
Yeah.
and all these things. It's not a right or wrong. It's just like kind of it's just being honest about these things.
Yeah.
And honest to yourself. Are you, just be real with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do I do what I do?
Why do I do
Yeah.
what I do? Why am I actually doing this?
Yeah.
Because you're only fooling yourself. I don't think you're fooling many other people.
I mean, yeah, definitely the most dangerous person to lie to is yourself.
Mm-hmm. Your hair. I can't get over your hair.
You
It's
like
like,
it?
yes, I do.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for you to like sing some 80s rock or something.
No, not right now.
Okay. Wait, did you have another one?
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting one. What unique challenges does being a Christian in the performing arts hold?
I guess it's only difficult if you surround yourself with people that are not Christians and or people that aren't going to sharpen you in that way. It's okay to like hang out with people that don't believe in the same things that you believe in.
Of course, we should.
I think you should. Yeah, literally Jesus did that.
Yeah.
He hung out with prostitutes and beggars and tax collectors and lepers and basically all those, all the people that actually needed him.
Yeah. Man looks at the outside, but God looks at the heart.
Mm-hmm. Also very difficult.
Yeah, from David's story.
You just need to find some friends and maybe a community that can help build you up and sharpen you in that area.
Yeah.
And so it makes it a little bit, I don't know. I haven't found it to be super difficult.
Me neither. Cause I haven't ever had anyone, if there's a situation where people are sort of like ragging on you for your beliefs, then that's a different thing.
Right.
Because I do get it that the performing arts is a space where maybe not that many people are Christians.
Yeah.
Show business in general.
Right.
But
I mean, that's definitely for sure.
Yeah. In my experience, if we operate as Christians are designed to operate, where we're not being judgmental.
Yep. That's
we're not like being forceful. We're just living our life and allowing people to see the fruit of our life. Then I haven't ever experienced anything negative from that.
I haven't either. And I think that's the thing. It's like, if you're kind of pushing your beliefs on other people, that's when you might get some retaliation in that way.
Yeah.
We just tried to live like Christ.
Yeah.
And
maybe this is a generalization, but I think when people struggle to be in environments where not everyone is a Christian, it's because they're very judgmental. Mm-hmm. Because if you're in an environment where people believe differently than you, what's the big deal?
Totally.
What's the big deal? You're strong in what you believe in. You can speak about it if and when it comes up. Again, people see the fruit of your life. They see your example. But if you're uncomfortable around people who don't believe the same thing as you, I think it's because you're being judgmental of the choices that they're making.
Yep. Also, maybe you're not as strong in your faith as you think you are.
Yeah.
Like anybody that gets super defensive about their beliefs, or I think mainly that, like their beliefs or their values or something, and they get like defensive.
Yeah.
Typically means that they're insecure about their beliefs, and they don't, they're just not secure in it.
Yeah.
So if you feel yourself getting heated in what you believe and triggered by other people and that, maybe take a look at that. Why are you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that you aren't as deep rooted as maybe you think you are. Because nothing really shakes your tree if you really do believe and you have a strong belief or faith in something.
Yeah.
That somebody says something that's contrary to that, it doesn't really shake you up, because you're just like, all right, like that's your belief. That's totally fine. I don't think that's true, but it doesn't mean we have to be enemies now.
Right.
Yeah. We're all doing our best as human beings in this world, and everybody has very different upbringings that can format their beliefs and how they're thinking and how they operate. And I just believe that we are called to love one another. I mean, literally, Jesus said it. He just breaks it down very simple. The greatest commandment.
Yeah.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind.
Yeah.
And love your neighbor as yourself. And so when you just break it down to that, I think that's really what he's looking that's not loving people who love you back.
Right. Or who are easy to love.
Or who are easy to love.
Yeah.
Because that is easy.
Right. Anyone can do that.
It's loving people that are difficult.
Yes.
And loving people that don't believe in what you believe in. So that's kind of a long-winded answer to your question, but I don't find it to be really that difficult.
Sure. Any different than being in any workplace where people have different beliefs than you do.
Yeah. Just outside of maybe working at a church.
Yeah.
You're going to be around people that just don't believe in what you believe in.
But again, it's as Christians, the point is literally to go be among people who don't believe the same thing as you. So if all I do is hang out with Christians and go to church and hang out with people at church, like, what am I really doing?
Yep.
I'm not doing much of anything besides making myself feel good.
Yeah. It's a comfortable thing. It's a comfort thing. But there's no growth in the comfort zone.
Yeah.
You got to stretch yourself in that category. And that's always going to be the case. I think you start to age. I think it's Gary Bruck who said this, but like aging is the pursuit of comfort. It's like the aggressive pursuit of comfort creates aging.
Oh, sure.
In your body, like physically. He's talking physically.
Yeah.
And I think it goes for emotionally and spiritually and mentally as well.
Yeah.
If you are just aggressively pursuing comfort, you're going to stagnate in that area, whatever that is, socially, spiritually, mentally, financially. Yeah. Look for ways that may stretch you in those areas.
It's not always comfortable to be open and transparent about your faith in every environment.
Right.
It's not always comfortable. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable. Also,
it's such a like personal thing. Like everybody, I think even amongst Christians, there are still certain like things that are a little different. I don't know. I think there's few people that just believe exactly the same.
Yeah, 100%.
In the same exact way.
100%.
You know, even Christian to Christian.
Yeah.
And so it's such a deep and personal thing, but it's also your journey and your belief. So I don't know. I don't, I don't really understand why people would get so upset or so butthurt about somebody else sharing what they believe in.
Right.
Again, if you are, it's because you are insecure about your beliefs.
Right. Or you don't have any.
Yeah. They are making you feel less than or insecure because they do believe in something. And you wish you could, and you're not. And so you're going to get defensive and try to tear somebody down, which is like, you know, what you do and what people do in a lot of other areas. But
boom.
Mic drop. Oh, these are too expensive. I don't want to drop them.
Yeah, don't drop them. Don't do that.
There is a lot of questions about the performing world, being performers, when we were, are we still, what's our dreams with that?
Classic.
Do we want to do that? So for those of you who don't know, we met on the Beauty and the Beast national tour and we were performing. We haven't really pursued performing as much in the past like 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
I would say. Social media has kind of created a fun outlet for it. We kind of hit pause on it for a little bit because we wanted to put ourselves in a better financial position because as performers know, it can be very difficult. It can be a very difficult road. You're typically doing 2 or 3
unstable
jobs, whether it's retail, catering, restaurant work, because they have flexibility for auditions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then 70 to 80% of your life is auditioning and hoping you get callbacks. And then when you get callbacks, then you go in that, and then you're hoping to get another callback.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, when you get selected, then it's great. But most theater work does not pay well. Does not pay well. Mm-hmm. It's only some top tier regional theater and Broadway theater that do. And
Honestly,
and we were just
cruise ships pay.
Oh yeah, cruise ships. That's true.
And you eliminate all your living expenses.
We
so
were
that's a
just
good way
wanting
to
to
make
put
money.
ourselves in a financially stable position so that we can, and then we kind of get to perform in our own way. I don't think we would say no to if a really cool opportunity came along, like a really cool show that we could be in, maybe a shorter contract. I think that would be super fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be, I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
I would love to transition and do more TV and film at some point.
Sure.
I would love to do, I mean, I've said this before, but a sitcom feels like it would be right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I would love to do a sitcom. It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now we're just kind of trucking along and seeing what doors open up. But we're enjoying continuing to do the podcast and doing.
It's just one of those things that
social media and doing different,
that
things like that.
We stepped. Well, I'll speak for myself. I moved to New York in 2012, and I performed professionally from 2012 to 2018. We did the tour 2015, 2016, and after that we continued to audition and perform. And then stepping away was the idea of like, oh, let me get myself in a better position to then come back to this. But then what God did with that was just like so much more than we could have ever imagined. And then the pandemic also happened. So that was another thing that totally changed the trajectory of our lives. So much that's like outside of our control put us on a path that I certainly wasn't planning for.
Right.
To have had social media come into our lives as a way to kind of scratch that performative itch it's fun because that's just a part of who we are, something that I love. And I think, if the right opportunity came along, I would do something theater related.
Yeah.
I have personally no interest to do like TV or film, but I would love to do something theater related.
Yeah.
Especially because I would really like to, after I give birth to this baby, like take some classes.
Dance classes?
Again. Yeah. Like
you should
get myself back into, because that stuff is all still
it's
in there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, you're such a good dancer.
To take some classes and like kind of train myself up a bit would be, I think, really fun.
Yeah.
And if the right opportunity came along, then to be able to do something that wasn't too long and involved, because I've gotten so used to having my time be mine that it's hard to. Theater's a demanding career.
Yes, it is.
And you have to show up every day just like you would for any other job.
Yep.
You get one day off a week. And so I'm not.
And you typically Saturdays and Sundays are, well, if you book Broadway, Saturdays and Sunday are 2 show days. So
Sunday's one, right?
Huh?
Sunday's one.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 days Saturday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I thought that's always been the case. And then Monday's off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
But I know there are some that have like 2 on a Wednesday and then they have 1 on a Sunday. Like
then maybe that's
3
it.
3 p.m. on a Sunday.
But there are two show days, right?
Yes, there are two show days of the week.
So
sure.
yeah, two show days a week, which is pretty much all. I mean, it's literally your whole day.
Yeah.
You have a little break in the middle.
Yeah.
And then, the rest of the days, your nights are completely gone.
Yeah.
And you just have one day that you have off.
Yeah. And that's not something that I am willing to commit to. That kind of schedule is not something I'm willing to commit to for an extended period of time.
Right.
Because especially like once we have a kid, like I don't want to spend that much time away from him.
Yeah.
So, but if the right thing were to come along, Or maybe like a Christmas show, maybe like a White Christmas.
Oh, wow. Getting specific.
I'd love to do White Christmas. And that's, that's a seasonal show.
And I'd be open to doing the Grinch.
You'd be good at that.
I think, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just throwing those out there as well. But as of right now, we're just enjoying kind of what we're doing and seeing where this takes us. And
quit.
What?
It hurts.
If you can't see, but I have kind of unusually strong toes.
Yeah, they're like fingers, and he pinches with them, and it really hurts.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't really have the control over them, and
you just
pull
grab
a little bit too hard on her toes.
Yeah,
where she thinks that I'm gonna pull them off.
It feels like they're gonna come off, and it grosses me out. I don't like that.
You're very sensitive feet, though.
Yeah.
Like you don't like your arch being massaged. She literally wants to throw up.
It makes me sick.
If I like massage her arch.
Yeah, no.
In her foot.
No touching of the arch. I don't like that at all. I'm like, ugh.
That's a very common like place to massage, isn't it?
Well, I guess
like when you did ballet, didn't you have to like stretch your arch and like really?
Stretching it is not the same as someone touching it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's more so like when my foot is relaxed, it's fine. But it's when the foot becomes flexed and you can kind of feel that like, I can't even like do it right now. And you kind of feel that tendon right there. That like makes me sick. I do not like that at all. I like can't even touch it on my own foot. Cause there's like I don't know.
Oh, just did it.
That literally gave me a chill down my spine. So I don't like that at all. And I don't like separation of my toes. You know, like pedicure when they do like the toe separator things. Those I don't know if you've ever had that, but
I haven't. But I know what you're talking
and they
about.
separate your toes. That
I would get a pedicure.
That also makes me feel sick.
If somebody dared to get close to my feet.
Yeah, well, your toes are so mobile. Like mine are not that mobile. They like there's not space.
See, it like can like. Wow, this is. I'm like. I probably should charge for that.
Like I don't have space between my toes like that.
Well, you can't even create space?
No.
Interesting.
I literally can't move my toes individually of one another.
Huh.
I can move my fourth toe on this foot that much, and that is it.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I do have pretty like crazy control over them.
It's weird.
Yeah, I can like pick up things. I can pick up pretty heavy things too.
You can. It's like it's like a monkey. Like you could swing from the trees. It's definitely unique.
Swing using my feet as well.
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's fun.
Anyway, well, yeah, I guess we'll end on that. So
monkey toes.
But we won't end on that because we always like to end our podcast by saying, wait. Hold the phone. Subscribe. And like and comment. We look at the comments. We look at the DMs. If you ever have a comment or a question, please comment down because we like to answer them. And also, we just really appreciate all the support that everybody has done for us. We really do love you guys and are so grateful for you. And, you know, we work really hard on all this, and it's always good to see that it's getting like people are getting value out of it. Yeah. So yes, it would really help us a lot if you do really like the show and find value, subscribe, send it to somebody else. It just really helps us out. So now,
yes,
as always, we like to end our podcast by saying goodbye. Again, did you second guess yourself with the singing?
Kind of, because
you did. I can tell with your eyes. There's absolute blank, Sarah. I was like, we're about to start. And I'm like, does she know that we're about to sing? Like, we have done this for 14 episodes. And I'm like, do you not know we're about to sing?
Only because we started on the same note.
We did that time?
Well, it was very close.
But you didn't know we were going to.
I know. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't explain it.
That's enough.
I just am who I am.
Goodbye.
Leave me be.